Hey, it's Brock here with Uncommon Aquatics, and I just found the biggest loach I've ever seen. And I've seen some big ones. I've seen some clown loaches like this. The biggest previous loach I'd ever seen was a dojo loach, which is also known as a weather loach. And it was like a foot long. This one is bigger, and its diameter is huge. I was shocked when I just went in. I was gonna get some more tetras and see if there were any more unique or interesting cichlids I wanted to add to this tank. I went into a local store, and I think I had been there already since the last time they got fish, so I wasn't expecting anything. And then I walk up to the goldfish tanks, and I was just floored by the size of this fish. Now, if you're not familiar, this is a dojo loach. You can get them in their original coloration or albino, and they're often called a weather loach. They're a very peaceful fish, but of course they will eat whatever can get in their mouths, but they're a very peaceful, very calm fish. I guess they have a temperament like most other loaches. I have marbled and yo-yo loaches in here, but these are a really neat fish that I never really keep because they prefer colder water. So in an aquarium, they do better with goldfish or koi, and I don't usually keep cold water aquariums. I keep my cold water outside in the big koi pond. If you didn't know, I've got a 15 foot by 20 foot koi pond that's 4 foot deep that I dug myself with my son. And I love that pond, but I've only shown it once so far on the channel. Now for that pond, I've been looking, what else can I put in there besides koi and goldfish? And there's not a whole lot. So what I've got in there now with them is a high fin banded shark, and I've put a few dojo loaches in. But when you buy them at the store, they're very small diameter, and in a pond that size that might have a snake in and out of it, or who knows what else, they have not, I can't say that they didn't make it, but I put one in there about a year ago, and then I put another one in this spring, and I've never seen them again after I put them in. And I'm not thinking of this as like a sacrificial fish, but if I'm ever going to be able to keep a dojo loach, it's going to be this big guy. So let me grab him. Look at the size of that thing. Absolutely enormous. I mean, this is a skinny fish. They have like a snake or a worm-like body, and his back is 3 inches thick. Absolutely gorgeous fish that someone had kept. They would have had to keep this in their home aquarium for 10 years. And then I wonder what happened. I mean, you don't get bored of your fish after 10 years and trade him in, do you? They had this one and one that was about 2/3 this size. So you never know if someone had to move or what the story is, but I couldn't believe this guy got traded in. And when you think about a fish like this, they may have had him in a 300-gallon aquarium, but I doubt it. I bet he was sitting in a little 29-gallon and grew that big and had no room to move. And for the first time in 10 years, he's going to be able to truly free swim and have room to play. Now, as we go down there, I'm going to tell you, this is the worst my koi pond has ever looked. So if you're here to judge me on how my koi pond looks, have at it. But my pond gets full sun, which means I'm always fighting algae. In the spring, I had green water. I put some barley straw in it there, and that green water cleared up, and I had a crystal clear pond for about a month. You could see the bottom perfectly, and then kind of like a hair algae, almost like a moss, took over and covered it. And earlier this morning, I did the weed eating around it, which throws a bunch of grass in there, and I have to try to scoop all that out, and it kind of makes a mess of everything. So the pond looks pretty rough, but I tested the water today, and the water parameters are perfect. There's no nitrates, no nitrites, no ammonia. The pH is neutral. Everything's perfect in this pond. It just looks dirty. But dirty looking water is not necessarily unhealthy in an outdoor pond. What this pond needs, and what I'm going to do for it in the future, it really, really needs some shade. So anyway, that's enough talking. Let's get this guy down there and put him in with the koi. And hopefully you can see some of the koi, because I've got a couple koi that are like a foot long with beautiful colors on them. Never know what you're going to be able to make out on camera, but a lot of the fish are swimming right up here to us. As we let this big dojo loach out, I'm gonna get the camera underwater.
Can I do them with my hand?
No, but you can hold the camera right next to him. See wherever the front of that points? Let him down in there and see if he'll swim out.
Guys, grab it if you like the fish. Yeah, here's the water fountain.
So I really, really hope that this dojo loach is a long time inhabitant of this pond. They can be the type of fish that will come up and eat the food directly out of your hand, but I don't know how it'll react to being rehomed probably towards the end of its life. If these fish live, say, 15 years and it's 12 years old, I don't know how well it's going to adapt from being in an aquarium to now being in this pond. But I desperately want to have dojo loaches in this pond. I just think it's the most amazing thing. And I hope this one makes it, and this is my first one, and we can add more over time. But if I got any footage of him swimming tonight, you've already seen it. So I appreciate you taking time to watch the video. I'll put links on the screen to a couple more of our videos, and I'll see you next time.